Captain, incoming message.
It was the dawn of the third age of mankind.
Groovy.
Hi-ho. This is me, Kermit the Frog.
Hello there.
Moopsy.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Not a great plan.
Program complete. Enter when ready.
Let's see what's out there. Engage.
Hey there, we're those sci-fi guys, and this is the Those Sci-Fi Guys show. Just two working dudes, different lives, different jobs, and a whole lot of love for science fiction and the fun that comes with. We are your hosts. I am P.S. McKay. A little ticked that StreamYard is doing us a little dirty right now. Yeah, that's not our background, because we'd have to pay extra. Thanks, StreamYard.
And I'm GT Calfman, and you know, with all the content we have, maybe we should consider a paywall.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We'd need to do something on Patreon before we do anything like, crazy like that. But yeah, we would.
Patreon works better, actually, in my opinion.
It would. But, that means, hey, we could actually do, two shows like we normally do. Usually, unlike this last, 3 months.
2 months. It just
2 months.
Like 3.
We just haven't been able to do two shows a week.
August and September have been rough.
Yeah.
Or for us, as far as podcasting goes.
Yeah, scheduling just.
We both had a lot of vacation, longer vacations and time off in August. And I'm going to go ahead and say this for those sci-fi guys fans. I do apologize. One of the reasons why September has been a bit light on content is because the Caveman family has we suffered some losses. Unfortunately, that's part of the problem. So Mac has been very great and supportive, but I've had to take some time to step away to deal with the loss of a family member and a very close friend. They all fell right in early September or mid-September, and it really just, threw the whole month off. So please please understand it. It wasn't for our lack of effort or lack of interest. It was, I needed to step away, and Mac was very supportive of it. So thank you for your support, you, Mac, and thank you to our fans who are still out there with us. It was a very trying time. A family member who was very close to, and a friend who I was very close to. One was a little more expected than the other, unfortunately. It all hit, though, in the same week. And so we've been dealing with a lot with the family stuff, having to figure out and work with the states and with the friends. It's just, somebody your own age. And it's a bit of a, struggle. So it's been hard. But the love and support from, family, friends, community, my partner here on the podcast, and all of my friends out there are fans, some of whom know about it already. I just want to say thank you very much. And I want to raise a toast and tip my hat to absent friends and dearly departed family. Mm-hmm. My love to you both.
No thanks necessary, by the way. You know my friendship to you is all the way to the end of the earth. I'll hide the body as needed.
It's very simply put, from Captain America. I'm with you to the end of the line.
Until the end of the line. I literally was going to say that, but it sounded too final.
We are called those sci-fi guys. It would be
I know.
perfectly apt.
I know it would have. I didn't want to sound insensitive either, but you're right. It's all of that. Yes.
I would have appreciated it. Don't worry.
So that's what's been going on, everybody. But we're here. We want to have laughs. We want to have fun. That's what we do. I laugh more than he does, and that's still going to happen.
Before we do that, I do also want to shout out. I got some lovely. I got some lovely support from our friends at These Sci-Fi Guys.
Oh, really?
Sent message. Well, you sent messages.
Yes, I did. Oh, that's right. They don't know how to reach out to you. Yes, I did. I did relay their situation, your situation, to them, and they were very conciliatory to you, and they care a lot about you. I mean, my God, this world, it's wild, because we have friends in a state that neither of us have any real roots in at all. But
I spent about 2 months there once.
Well, yeah, but roots, like, family, sure. or like school friends or things like nothing. But I
may have other friends down there, but that's just from my time in the military.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's also a fact. But I text Dave on the regular, and sure. I mean, like,
he's a lovely man.
He's a lovely man. He's a great nice soundboard. I truly I just find it so funny that this is the situation we have now. It's all because you wanted to do something similar to this, and then we just found friends, and
you mistype one word and then you have 4 new friends.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's fun, and the other half of that is it's a lesson in life. Like, you never know where it's going to take you, but the fun part is wherever it does. Sorry, my lights are a little blinky right now, but it'll fix itself in a second. But wherever it does take you, it's gonna be worthwhile.
Well, we could have been jackass and be like, oh, well, we were here first, and we're these, there were those, whatever. It's but like,
never crossed my mind.
I'm like,
really.
we should reach out.
I did,
maybe it would be cool to find out what they were doing, and you were like, I learned a little about them. I've listened to them. They're pretty cool. They're actually not too dissimilar from us. So we reached out, and we've started a very nice friendship, and it is most appreciated. It was one of those unexpected joys in life where you meet some kindred spirits, and always look forward to when we get a chance to catch up with them.
Yeah.
I did not want to not mention. I wanted to make sure I did mention that they, that you relayed some very kind messages while I was having a tough time from our friends. So thank you very much. Our mothers from other brothers, these
brothers from other
mothers.
Mothers from other brothers. You're going to be forgiven for that for now. But if you say it in the next pod, I'm going to work on it.
Whatever, man.
I did listen
I'm
to
just
their
trying to be
Mortal.
chill.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. I did listen to their Mortal Kombat episode on my ride back home from Irvine, which that was a friggin' bear. Fun episode to listen to. It's a part 1 of 2 series of their fighter series. They're going to be doing Street Fighter next, so it'll be a nice companion. I I remember when Mortal Kombat came out, there was a big hype for it. It came out in 1995. I remember the big story. My brother was saying, like, oh, during production, the sets were lit so brightly that it was inadvertently pulling in aircraft into the area to land. And I'm like, I don't know if that's now. Back then, I bought in. I'm like, wow, that must be crazy. What set was that? And then now I'm thinking, there's a lot of fail safes for that. I don't think that that's true. But anyway, yeah, take a listen, guys. They're great. They're a great listen. Have fun.
And while you're out there, also listen to our previous videos.
Yes.
We gotta keep you all coming back.
Yeah. I also do want to throw out another shout out to a friend of mine from my other high school, Annie at Drawn to Darkness. The podcast is heating up. It's a great show. They just did a show on, Unknown Number, where they reviewed a documentary about some high school kids that were getting harassing texts. It's on Netflix. They reviewed it.
There's true crime.
Oh, there's a lot of true crime on Netflix. Yeah.
No. I know Netflix is a lot of true crime. Is this podcast again? You'll have to refresh me.
It's a podcast about true crime and like supernatural horror things. Like they don't explore like real incidents like the Annabelle or the Conjuring House or something like. They don't do that. They'll review movies, horror movies, or real crime documentaries, things like that. Delightful listen. They also did a Jaws review, which was very good. So she was talking to me about she was listening to ours, and she's like, oh, I wanted to do one too. And they already had started planning it, and she was listening to us to get little tidbits and things like that. And, soundboarding some ideas off of me and whatnot. So,
take a
listen to them.
You know how I make my living.
Yeah.
Podcasting.
Yeah. So, take a listen to them. Again, Drawn to Darkness. The last time I gave them a little shout out, it sounded a little muddled. But it is Drawn to Darkness, everybody. You podcast only, but anywhere you can find a podcast, good stuff. You'll love it.
I literally have true crime right up the street from me. They should come. Give us a call sometime.
Believe me,
two of the biggest cases that went nationwide out of this state were literally within like 5 miles of where I live right now.
Which one?
Aaron Hernandez and Karen Reed.
Oh, Karen Reed. I forgot about that one. Oh, and Aaron Hernandez. Yeah. I forgot about Karen Reed.
Well, Karen Reed actually lived up until like when the first trial lived like 5 miles from me.
Yeah.
Like literally, like we would drive through that neighborhood on the way to take our kid to swimming practice in the winter.
The town that I lived in after I moved out of our mutual town, there was a very horrible suicide. Not suicide. There was a terrible murder thing that happened in the woods behind where Annie actually used to live. I don't know if she still lives there now. I think she does, but the Christopher Hightower case.
Oh.
Which, if you're gonna look that up, you're gonna know what town I'm talking about. But that was a pretty infamous case, and so bodies were found in the woods, but all right, we're getting a little dark. How about we talk about a situation where there are no bodies, but there's nothing but bits.
This is a surprisingly dark show when you start digging into it.
I know. Hold on, let me pull up the thing. I'm sorry, I got to do it. I'm gonna here we are, and there it is. Boom! Upload, everybody. At the suggestion of Mr. DT Cavman himself. Took him a little bit of cajoling, by the way. But I'm so glad that he convinced me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This show, I first saw. It took me a little while to get into it. Not to get into it, but to actually sit down and watch it. This show actually came out right around the start of the pandemic.
Yeah, totally. I remember too. I remember it was a little on the nose too.
I started seeing ads for it when I got into streaming, and I'm like, because I was watching stuff on Prime Video and it kept, kept recommending it, and I'm like, okay. But when it hit is right when I got sick. So,
right, yeah. You're not in the mood to watch something new about the afterlife, or even a digital afterlife. Not at that point.
It took me like 3 years, I think, or maybe even close to 4 before I actually sat down and watched it. By that time, the first 3 seasons was out, and one of the things that also is the 4th and final season premiered on August 25th. So
this year,
yeah, a little over a month ago, and so it's like I was looking it up. I'm like, I know they're set up for for at least another season. When is it coming out? And I Googled. I'm like, oh, the last season. Okie dokie.
This is the promo for the first season, by the way. The here we can do the second season. That's the new season that they had. Oh, look, it's like the Garden of Eden. And well, if we go any further, like we're gonna be giving such stuff away. I've only seen the first 3 episodes. That's what we're gonna talk about tonight. All
right.
And are you able to do the summaries? Do you know them well enough? I can fill in blanks for you. I watched it last night.
So here, and the funny thing is, like when this first came out, it came out in 2020. The premise was in 2033, humans can upload themselves into a virtual afterlife of their choosing. When computer programmer Nathan Brown dies prematurely, he's uploaded to the very expensive Lakeview, but then finds himself under the thumb of his possessive, still living girlfriend Ingrid. As Nathan adjusts to the pros and cons of digital heaven, he bonds with Nora, his living customer service rep, called an angel. And Nora struggles with the pressures of her job, her dying father, who does not want to be uploaded, and her growing feelings for Nathan, while slowly coming to believe that Nathan was murdered. Yeah. Plus, there's also a very colorful cast of characters. And what Nathan is uploaded to is like the premiere of the upload digital afterlife.
Yes.
It's starring, its leads are Robbie Amell,
which I love. He's great. He's got a fantastic charisma.
Sure, he's the cousin of the Green Arrow star Arrow, Stephen Amell, and Robbie also played the original Firestorm in the early seasons of the Flash.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
So so I'd seen him in some stuff, and then the second lead is Andy Allo playing Nora, who first time I saw her, she's had a long recurring role on Chicago Fire as a fire investigator. But both very fascinating and charismatic leads, and a very crazy, colorful cast of characters, including their living relatives, the living work people, and all the other people uploaded. And the upload are like, it's actually pretty funny, because people have been uploaded for several years. There's like
there are millions in Lakeview alone. There are
Yep.
different heavens, digital heavens that they can go to,
Right.
based on your pricing structure and whatnot. And
exactly.
and just to point out, just to give a little idea on this, Nathan died unexpectedly, and later on it's a question of whether it was murdered or not.
Yep.
But his possessive girlfriend, while he was quote unquote dying on the table, which I have questions about because it really wasn't. There were questions about his health,
How
whether
fatal it really was.
how deteriorating he really was, as he was being told, you can either go into the operating room or you can go and upload yourself. And his girlfriend was like, "Don't worry, I can pay for all of it. It's under my account. Don't worry." And he's like, "Fine, I'll be uploaded," because it was like a 40% chance that he would live or something with a punctured lung. By the way, a punctured lung, you need one lung to live. If you're talking about sepsis or kind of bleeding out, I'm not a doctor.
This is also supposed to be 13 years in the future from where it was.
Right.
So you would hope medical.
You would think medical technology would be a little bit better.
By the way, self-driving cars with privacy shields, so you can, hook up in them.
There was a very neat shot of him with his girlfriend post Thanksgiving in a moment, and then you think they're at her apartment, but then it ends up that they're in his car.
Yep.
And it's moving like, this is 2033. So let's go through some of the plot first. And then we're going to talk about some of the bigger things about the implications of this thing, the production, things like that. We've got 50 minutes. So 10 minutes on the plot. So
yeah.
Nathan's a little bit full of himself. Go ahead. You're better at that one.
Well, yeah, Nathan is kind of cocky, a little self-involved. His girlfriend is super self-involved. She's the daughter of a wealthy industrialist.
His girlfriend's right here.
Yep, Ingrid.
Mm-hmm.
She's the prototypical rich daughter of a corporate honcho kind of thing. So she's spoiled. She kind of gets what she wants.
Never lived a real day in her life.
Right. Very possessive, right?
Well, and she's possessive, yes.
Yeah. So Nathan Brown is dying after a self-driving car crash. Ingrid insists the consciousness be uploaded to Lakeview, which is an exclusive digital afterlife, which she's paying for. When he discovers the downsides of the afterlife, such as corporate monetization and being under Ingrid's thumb, he's about ready to commit virtuicide.
Yeah.
But he's stopped by Nora, his customer support angel, who helps him cope and adjust to his new life.
Now,
as Nora leaves her desk at the end of the shift, hold on.
Okay, yeah, go.
Computer files containing some of Nathan's memories are remotely deleted, and that's another thing. Like,
he has some
you
damaged
can go
memory
into the system. Yeah, there's some corrupted memory, and he does have some gaps, which I identify with.
Yeah, you have damaged memory. I don't know. I don't know why
you had something. You said you were going to say something.
So the big thing was about Nathan was he was not prepared to be uploaded. A lot of the thing is, like, when people buy in to the upload plan, they're mentally ready to experience a digital afterlife, like, and understand
or
that
it's in the will,
or it's in the will, something like that. They know it's a factor there. Nathan, it never was a factor for him in this circumstance. He was just thrown in, and then with the dialogue between Nora and Alicia over here, her work best friend. they were talking about how there's a very low success rate of unprepared souls going into the upload heaven. And she's talking about, so Nora said, I have a 40% failure rate with unprepared souls. And Alicia said, well, I've got a 60%. And then they both look at each other, and Alicia goes, I've been written up a lot. That was supposed to be a joke. But, you know, and the thing is, when you're talking about a failure rate, what these digital souls do is they go to the uplink stream, which is the stream that connects the, you know, Lakeview to the outside server, which I mean, that doesn't make sense. It's all the server. It doesn't, whatever, but if you jump into that stream, it's a visual stream in the middle of the sky, you know, that goes into the ground. If you jump into that, it digitally erases you, so you're like fully dead at that point. Now,
Yep.
there are questions about that which we're going to talk about later. But Nora, you know, Nathan was ready to you know, jump into it. Nora jumps in an avatar using VR and convinces him otherwise. And okay, cool. But there's a lot of, you know, he also meets a best friend who was in the military, apparently.
Luke,
although
he was killed in action.
He was killed in action. He, you know, he's still having trouble like adjusting to the world too, but he figured out glitches and stuff. So there are some interesting glitches in the. Wait, no, I'm going into the little details first. So plot wise, okay, so
Luke's been there a little while longer.
Longer.
He's kind of a mess of a human being.
A little bit, but he wants to be friends with Nathan.
He's a little Millhousey. We can
Millhouse. I can see that. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good,
yeah.
Sir. Nice job. Nice job.
They kind of have a Bart Milhouse relationship, although Nathan is not nearly and he's a cocky, wise ass who, you know, is a little full of himself, but he's not quite to the, you know, mischievous, I gotta cause trouble all the time level of Bart Simpson. And Luke is a little more capable than Milhouse, but he is very glad to have like a super cool best friend. That's what it is. And he really loves life there at Afterlife.
Well, in the first 3 episodes, it's not really shown. He's adapted a little bit better, but he still has frustrations about it.
Sure, he does. There are limits to what you can do and whatnot.
Right.
In digits, and the deeper you go into the series, the more you'll see those. But it's pretty cool to learn, right? So you go over to the next episode, Nathan. Oh, and here's the thing: they also assign you therapists to help people, you know, adjust. Right? It's Nathan's therapist asked him to meet 5 other uploads. Nora tries to improve her ratings because apparently she's not got the highest of ratings yet. She's a little newer. She's also in it just for the money at first.
There's only one photo. Damn.
Because she's just trying to get her, and that's Ingrid.
Yeah.
But Nora's also trying to raise money because her father is sick, and she wants to be able to get him in.
Now, why is he sick?
It was some sort of cancer, wasn't it?
Vaping cancer. Because this is 2033. At this point, they're saying we thought vaping was safe, and he bought all into it, and now he has cancer because of vaping. And by the way, I'm just going to go ahead and say that's what the show says. There is no official documentation, scientifically or ethically, whatever, that we are going to propound about vaping. Okay? It's water vapor. But it can also cause things. But that's it.
Yeah.
So
it's very interesting. So Nathan's therapist wants him to talk to other uploads, right? In some ways, it's like getting somebody into a group home, like talking to other addicts, that sort of thing.
A dog therapist, by the way.
Yes,
It's
the
like
therapist
pet therapy.
is
Pet
a dog.
therapy.
Is a therapy dog.
Yeah, therapy dog. But
it's clearly but it's an avatar, so it's clearly a person. But they figure it like a talking whatever golden or a lab or something like that will help. Meanwhile, Ingrid's trying to plan Nathan's funeral, which he gets to attend, which is kind of interesting. But across the hall from Nathan is this super rich, like oligarch kind of guy named David Choke.
Which is supposed to be a takeoff of the Koch brothers.
Right.
Like who
guys who brought us cocaine.
The big political snazzy KOCH, the Koch brothers, who are very big in political donations and stuff. But they say choke, but
Anyway.
played by the man who played the smoking man in the X-Files, which I found
ominous.
He was exceedingly ominous. I'm like, oh my God, it's the smoking man. I haven't seen him since the X-Files.
And he continues to be ominous and creepy.
He really does. Because
like you see him like walk into his room and it looks like a huge palatial estate.
Yeah.
Because he's super wealthy. Whereas Nathan walks in and it's like a huge, like almost like a penthouse style suite.
Suite, yeah. With a nice balcony.
Really,
view over the lake. Yeah. All that stuff.
So here's something interesting. Choke kind of hints to Nathan that maybe he was murdered because Nathan, and this is where some of Nathan's lost memories are kind of screwing with him a little. But Nathan was working on a freeware digital afterlife, which of course threatened the whatever half $1 trillion,
$600 billion a year industry.
Yep. So Nathan, who comes from a very working class family, figured that this could be good for money and whatnot, but also, it would also help people preserve their relatives and not go into debt doing it. But Nathan's cousin is very curious about the mysterious circumstances of his death. So Fran, his cousin, finds the self-driving car has been tampered with.
Which has an AI, by the way.
Right.
An interactive AI.
Sure. Which is interesting in and of itself. Nathan is not only is he doing the therapy, but he also, as many of the people at Lakeview do, they, are developing, they work with their angels, trying to get settled, figure things out. But Nathan discusses these gaps he's having in his memory with Nora. She helps restore a memory file for him, so he's now gets some memories. And then while she's doing that, she also discovers, that Nathan was working on a software deal before he died.
Right.
And of course,
he went to California with his friend
partner
for a venture capital investment with Fidelity.
Mm-hmm.
And then the video, the memory said as they left, they're like, I messed up. No, you didn't. It's fine. We'll just find another one. And then someone from Fidelity Investment comes running out going, hey, listen, we're interested. Have you talked to anyone else about the idea? No, just our family. Okay, well, don't say anything to anyone else, and I'll be in contact with you.
Right. So they kind of leave you hanging with that.
We don't know what this is at this point. We only find out at the end of episode 3.
Sure. And this is a great picture.
I know, right? This is the funeral, by the way. So this is Nathan's point of view here. And then this is the real world, and they're both looking through screens. I think this is a very good representation of the digital world versus the real world. I also go ahead, actually talk about the funeral for a little bit.
I just, like Luke's wearing a mostly accurate version of Dress Blues, and I want to punch Nathan for what he's wearing.
We all do because, well, his girlfriend here chose this and said, "Yes, babe, wear that. Let's bring that back."
So now he looks like Travis Kelce going out on a date with Taylor Swift.
A little bit.
Or,
I mean, this is
or
exactly
LeBron James going into a basketball game.
Here's the funny part, though. Do you think this is really where suits are going? Because the pants are getting higher and higher.
But people are literally wearing these now.
Pretty close. That's what I'm saying. Without the socks, by the way.
Yeah.
Without the socks.
I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I've literally seen Travis Kelce, LeBron James, so many athletes and celebrities wearing like sport coat, a whole deal, and like these pants that are like freeze.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so
I don't know who thought it's a good look. Certainly don't. But again, apparently I'm out of touch. So,
No, you are not. And here, let me reinforce your thought process on this. So where I was this past week, I got to experience a couple talks with some high profile lawyers. And there was this one lawyer that came up and talked. He had a black suit, black pants, which, comes with the black suit, right? They went all the way down to the shoe. It was a well-tailored suit. It wasn't too tight. It didn't look tight on him. It still had give. He had a white button-down shirt on, and he had a red tie. Like nothing, no patterns on it, just a red tie. That was it. He was younger than me by about maybe 10 years.
Okay.
But I saw this man, and I looked at his suit, and I'm like, this man needs to be listened to because he knows how to dress. He looked good. That's my point.
What's your point?
Are you gonna listen to this guy if he's gonna talk about some kind of lawyer seminar or something? Absolutely not. But you're gonna listen to something that this guy says right over here. Are you not?
Possibly.
He's gonna have some authority. Usually.
Yeah. The other guy looks like a lawn jockey.
Exactly. So that being said.
So Nathan's preparing for the funeral, right? In the episode, surprisingly called The Funeral. But the funeral is happening in the real world. So like people are going to get to it. It's a very strange thought. Like you go to your funeral and people actually get to say, you are supposed to do the whole funeral thing and say the things, but like your digital consciousness is right there just receiving it. Like, cool.
Right.
But Nathan thinks, okay, well, there's going to be a lot of people, right? Family, friends, college roommates, whatever. As he's getting ready for it, though, he watches the news coverage of a gentleman who has won the chance to be downloaded into a clone body, where somebody who has been uploaded, they're now trying to reverse the process, and his body has been cloned.
Immortality.
Basically, what they're doing is returning his katra to his body.
Yeah.
Yes, essentially, it's immortality, right? Your body dies, you upload, they clone you a new one, and right there, they download your brain. So that's what they're working on. That's the next step of the operation, right?
Mm-hmm.
The process works for a couple of minutes until he starts having nosebleeds, and then he expresses, that he's discomfort, or he's uncomfortable, things are feeling not right, and then he blows up. Or at least his head
explodes. He exploded. In the words of Galaxy Quest, he exploded.
Yeah.
Um,
And that of course shocks everybody who's watching because
it was broadcast live on CXN.
Right.
You know,
Have to have the X.
Yeah.
So Nathan goes to his funeral. Luke, of course, shows up in his uniform. It's not 100% correct, and it's very inconsistent on what was Luke an officer or not, or what's his deal.
You can put the inconsistencies on the programmer.
Sure. There you go. And then, of course, Mildred, who's Ingrid's grandmother, and what I love is Mildred is a old black and white photo of her when she was like in her 20s and hot.
They can't just colorize her. It's so AI colorizes things like.
But I kind of like it, man. It just adds a little character, a nice character.
It does. It absolutely does. Yes, it adds.
Scroll back.
It adds a layer
through there. So that's Nathan up close. That's his mother.
Sorry, that's Nathan.
Yeah, that is one weird bow tie.
Yeah, it's a metal bow tie. Sorry, right there.
Yep.
This is 13 years in the future. Do you think metal bow ties are going to be a thing?
Looks more like a belt buckle.
It could be. No. Actually, that could be a thing, a belt buckle like that. You know.
Sure. Hey, look. When the Pilgrims showed up, they had to buckle their damn hats on their heads. So
that's true. I just want to wrap up the plot a little fast.
Yeah. So anyway,
a lot of things I want to say about this.
Sure. So Nathan attends his funeral. Nora attends the funeral in New York, just kind of sneaks into the background, meets some former girlfriends and tries to learn about him. Meanwhile, his cousin Fran, who's continuing the investigation into his mysterious death, is asking Ingrid questions about the accident. She doesn't believe that Nathan just randomly died. Nathan finds out there wasn't any money to give to his surviving family from the unfinished software. He's upset that Ingrid's speech is, praises this guy who just blew up.
And not him.
Right. His friends leave during the funeral, and he's informed by his cousin that she's continuing to investigate the accident, and she wants to sue the car company because they say everything is safe and everything looks very suspect.
Right.
It's sus, dude.
And everyone
Total
laughed
sus.
at the idea of him dying in a car accident. Because car accidents were a thing of the past because it's all automated.
It's supposed to be the safest, right? It's like AI, GPS, everything. You don't even need to drive, right? And then while Nora's also digging into Nathan's missing files, she finds out that the business deal never went through. And she talked to somebody about it. About his software, what's going on with that. And, they give her the stiff arm. So that's kind of where episode 3 leaves off.
Your memory,
but there's a lot of. I'm cheating a little.
Yeah.
I watched those first 3 episodes like a year and a half ago. So yeah, I've only watched them once. You watch them a couple of times, then I can start getting those total recall. But
right.
I very much enjoyed this series. There's a lot of quirk to it. It's both comedy, but it's clearly a dramedy. Really,
it is
because there's some heavy shit going on.
But it relies on a light atmosphere for the entirety of the show.
But it's almost a veneer too when you think about it.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to get into that in a second. I just want to point out the darkest part of the first 3 episodes was during the funeral when Nathan and Ingrid got into a fight and she actually threatens to delete him from Lakeview altogether. And it's like, holy crap. And he realizes oh my God, I'm at her mercy.
Yeah.
Like there is like my entire existence depends on her. And she's allowed to do whatever she wants in the real world. Despite whatever she promises.
Yeah.
Which she literally said, I could go home with your other friend that was hitting on me at any point. And I can delete you. And she puts the delete, swipe button up in front. Like, dark.
Yeah.
Dark. Which leads to the veneer of everything. And I want to talk about the cinematography. Because this plays a very big part in it. I felt like I was watching something from the network USA in the 1990s. The colors were popped.
Sure.
Like there was no filter necessarily. Everything was bright. Everything was airy. Even in the real world, it was still bright and airy. Like it felt good. And they changed it up when it was talking between the digital world and the real world. But that was, that was a necessary storytelling device. But I found it exceedingly refreshing that there was no filter on these colors. Like the colors we saw were the colors we got.
Sure. It wasn't washed or toned down, sepia tone. It wasn't trying to look gritty.
No. It was nice. It was refreshing. Like, I really liked it. I mean, all of these pictures are accurate. I mean, this looks a little washed out only because it's from his perspective looking at them, looking at his mother. And it looked a little washed out from his perspective. But
again,
here,
it's also because it's also very white and beige back there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But all this, look at that red. Look at this blonde. Like,
Come
look
on,
at this
man.
green.
Just because he's a ginger doesn't mean you have to point.
Oh. By the way, this Avatar, fantastic actor. I got to give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, they let this dude have a lot of fun.
They
watches the series progresses. It gets crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it does. But I really liked it. But then here's the point that I want to make, DT, is that you're right. This color, these popping colors, these natural feeling moments, it's all a veneer because there's a darkness underneath. And
not just dark, it's dirty.
It is super dirty. And you get a feeling for it in the first 3 episodes. You don't know what it is, but you know there's something else there.
Yeah.
And the boss, Nora's boss, super corrupt. Super corrupt.
She's corrupt, but she's also just like such like a starved for attention.
Yeah.
Middle-aged working woman with the stereotype. This is what I'm saying. It's the stereotype of the starved for attention, middle-aged working woman who tries to pressure certain employees and like violates the shit out of a ton of other things behind people's back. She just
watches the private moments of all the souls that are in afterlife. And so
definitely enjoys watching shower scenes, which people take showers in Lakeview. Why?
Well, they explain that. If you remove bodily functions, if you remove the feeling for needing to eat or to drink or, even blink, which is like the first iteration.
Right.
Like you will go insane. Like all the souls went insane. And they all like jumped into the current, the digital uplink current.
No, that's the current.
So
yeah. Still though, it's still funny, but they do explain it. They do a very good job of explaining things that you might go, well, why?
Like why don't we see millions of people if there are millions of people here? And they say, well, you're on this floor. You only see the 5 floors above you. and the people on the 5 floors below you. Usually. But if you look over at that lake right now, there are 100 million, well, not 100, there is 1 million people in that lake right now, which is why you see that guy who's diving, who's within the 10 floors of you, he's glitching because it's overpowering the servers right now because there's 1 million people right there right now.
Sure.
I liked that. I thought that was very interesting. Also, it's a thing that takes you out of the actual environment because you're like, this still, it looks beautiful. It's still not real.
Right. And you'll see, and there's periodic glitches, places, there's dead spots. And I don't know how much I can't remember of how much of that has actually come up yet, but this isn't a huge surprise. It's just something you would expect in a virtual world.
Sure.
But
yeah,
there's way more hidden secrets to come, even in the first season. This is oh, and by the way, I love this dude here in the background. That's
right
the night version of the angel.
Yeah, the night version. Yeah. Well, he's taking over Nora's shift. I thought this guy right here, I thought that was the guy that played Sloan in DS9. He's not, though.
Wait, all the way.
This guy on the TV.
Oh, in the background.
Yeah, I thought he was.
I would have remembered William Sadler being in this.
Yeah. So, but here, let me go to the second episode. Maybe there's something there. Oh no, there's no episodes there, but no photos there anyway. Let me go to the first episode, see if there's something there. Oh, there's a few. One of the other things to indicate that something was wrong in the second episode or the third episode was that his vitals were actually getting stronger before he was uploaded. And then and you can see it. You can actually see he's got several fractured ribs, but he's sitting up. He's got a punctured lung, yet he's still talking very loudly and vociferously. So I'm sitting here going, if you have a punctured lung, every breath is gonna hurt. Every breath, you're gonna like trying to say something. Like, I don't speak from experience. I can only assume. You've been on the battlefield. I mean, you've seen things. I don't know.
Look, if you have a if you got the wind knocked out of you, you're going to struggle, right?
Yeah, and he's sitting up, and he's looking around, and he's analyzing everything.
Exactly.
And his girlfriend was very, very vociferous in getting him into the upload realm.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, exactly.
That's a factor. That's going to be a thing. I don't know what. I genuinely don't. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert, this thing vaporizes his head.
Oh, yeah. That's even the craziest part.
That's the upload. It vaporizes the head, and the headless body falls into a vat of ice.
Yep.
Yeah.
They also don't exactly shy away from that. You
fact
see
that his gown is open on the back.
Well, there's some mild nudity in this show.
Mild, yeah. No, that's true.
And
I would probably let my kids watch this, at least so far. It's not too crazy. It's not racy. It's not.
It's a little racy at times.
I mean, a little bit, yes, but
yeah, this is very fascinating. There's a lot of real world type implications, but it's also, I just really enjoyed this show. So it's visually appealing. The characters are fairly well fleshed out, particularly as you go deeper into it. the world that they live in is very interesting and complex.
Also
Because
eerie.
Yeah.
Because it's plausible.
Yeah, there's some plausibility to it.
Was it Oscar Mayer Intel? So Oscar Mayer merged with Intel to create this company that is making this clone. By the way, like, ew, where'd they get that that organic compound to make the clones and stuff?
I'm sure it's just leftover stuff that they didn't put into hot dogs.
Yeah,
Bologna.
I know. Yeah, it's gross. They've got a lot
My
of like.
bologna has a first name. It's Nathan.
It's Nathan. They got a lot of combined companies. South Park did this post this episode, but
It's
it was
very
a lot of like
smacks of idiocracy.
yes, but still realistic in a way. It's like, oh yeah, this could be a real thing in 13 years. Well, actually, shit, 8 years now.
Right.
But all these companies, all the merged conglomerates and things like that. They even have the
Also,
logos that look
little
pretty on point.
Little
Continue.
hints of Demolition Man too.
Yes. I appreciated, although I hated it, but I appreciated that it was in there. The when he's in Lakeview, if you want something like coffee or some kind of luxury item, it gets charged to your bank account, which isn't his, it's his girlfriend's, but he doesn't want to charge it.
It's like being on the cruise, right? You know, there are certain things that are free and certain things that are bonus level.
Yes. Or in video games, it's called loot boxing, where you have to pay for the loot box in order to get to the next level. It's those things like that. I appreciated that. But the other factor on that is at some point that estate is going to run out of money. And what happens to that soul at that point?
Right. You actually start to see these.
Oh.
And you'll see they will dive deeper into the world of Lakeview and whatnot. So
okay.
But since Ingrid comes from a very rich family, that's why her grandmother is still around.
True. And he meets the grandmother, who's she's in black and white and everything. And his friend's like, wow, she's still hot. So
Ooh, Luke?
Yeah, Luke was like, wow, she's still hot. Like
Luke is delightful. Goofy sidekick, best friend kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. One of the other things I was thinking about, and please stop me if I'm dominating the conversation, DT. But
keep going.
The fact that they eviscerate this man's head here bothers me, because when you live in a digital realm. Oh, and by the way, I listened to a talk by a man. His last name was O'Brien. It's not Miles, but he had an IQ of 195, and he asserted.
So he's a little slow.
Yeah, a little slow, just a little. He would have a little trouble keeping up with us, but in the year 2042, he asserted that's when computer transistors and motherboards will be able to be complex enough to be able to faithfully copy a person's memory engrams and make a complete copy in the computer realm.
Interesting. So they're saying, what, 2045 or something
2042.
Like that?
2042. This is 2033, not too far off. I'm not going to blame the show runners for that or anything. They're on the right track. And but when you do that, here's the idea. Like his idea was, okay, every week, every Sunday morning, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to lay down, I'm going to copy my memory and my brain into this computer. So if I'm driving along on a Wednesday and I die in a car accident or something, then my family still has a backup of me with only a 3-day gap that they can upload into a cloned body, because they'll have my DNA samples and everything and whatnot, and they'll be able to grow that. And that's his thought. Like, for some reason, they decide to destroy the brain in the show, but they don't need to. You just make a copy, and that's the thing. You make a copy. They're destroying the master copy by doing that, by destroying the brain. And maybe that's a part of the plot.
There's some things that come along with it. I'll just tell you that.
Okay, but these are the thoughts that are crossing through my brain.
Sure.
In digital, it's not just you transfer everything and then the brain is empty. It's you just copy everything and the brain still has everything.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So it's an interesting concept. So that's why I thought it was very bothersome that they just vaporize people's heads to upload people's souls, so to speak.
Well, part of it too is so they can sell cheaper coffins.
not as long, huh? Gross. Gross. Oh gosh, I think that's all I wanted. That's all I could think about. There's last one. Did you ever read Fahrenheit 451?
I did.
Did the people in that book strike you as shallow?
Very.
Very.
That was the problem with Montag's wife.
Montag? Oh, yeah. Montag. Sorry. Yeah, it's been a while. Yes, it was. She was super shallow. He found another companion. Yes. They didn't.
You're saying some hints of Fahrenheit 451, huh?
There are hints of Fahrenheit 451 here, where you live in an era of just constant entertainment and information being broadcast at you. And there's, at some point, people just create this like shield where, like, yeah, that's all here, but I just want what I want. Like, and that's fine. I'm not going to go any deeper than that. And you see that in Ingrid. You see that in Nathan in a certain extent. A lot of the population in Lakeview is like that. A lot of the people that work for Upload or whatever company that what's it called? Horizon?
Yes, Horizon.
Yeah, Horizon. They're a lot like that. Like they don't have a lot of depth to them necessarily. Which, by the way, give credit to the writers where it's due. They show that in that world, but then if they focus in on one character, you see a little bit more depth that they kind of express, but it's not overt. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. That's really well done.
There's some good subtlety. Some things they kind of slap you over the head with, but it's done on purpose.
Yes. Everything is done on purpose. This is a very well written show. I just have to say, it's really well done.
I hope the next 26 episodes make you feel that way.
I've heard otherwise, but at least the first season I've heard is just great. But
I mean, it all depends on your point of view. You could love the whole thing. You could, you could hate it, but I enjoyed it. There's a lot of things that start picking up with this. You get to see Nathan venture into learning more about Lakeview. There's investigations into his death. There's Nora's situation, and Nora and Nathan, how they kind of relate to each other, and how Nathan relates to Ingrid and Luke, and just both. He's kind of stuck where he feels like, I think he's partially stuck, at least at the between the people he can still contact in the real world, like his mom, nieces, cousins, and then plus Ingrid, and then Luke and the other people at Lakeview, and Nora, who's kind of both. She kind of straddles it because she can go VR and be partially in Lakeview, but is also a real live person out in the real world. So there's some interesting things that come from that. And if nothing else, it can be quite amusing and funny, but it can also be,
This is a good shot right here. I love this. This is a great
right.
shot.
Yeah, you can also, it's also can be, drama, some suspense, some mystery, and also some heartwarming moments. So there's a lot to like about this show. I was kind of a little flat-footed, because I was kind of hoping the series would go on a little longer. Like, so season 1 was 10 episodes. Season 2 dropped down to 7. Season 3 was 8 episodes. And then season 4 was only 4 episodes. I really wish they had beefed up. For me, just a heads up, I think it would have been cool if they had a few more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because I just enjoyed the characters, and I liked, I felt that they could continue to do more. But, it is what it is. Everybody, they reach a stopping point, and I enjoyed that world. I kind of I want to see, be interesting if there's like a spinoff or something, because I think it would be neat to continue diving into this world.
So we're coming up on our time right now.
Sure.
So I'm going to ask you a dangerous question.
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to upload, and I'll answer this too, what do you think you would do? No judgment, by the way. I will not judge your answer in any way.
To be honest with you, I kind of think I would upload.
Okay.
And the reason why is I've dealt with, and I'm in my mid 40s, and for the last several years, I've been dealing with a lot of chronic issues, and I think it would be it almost feels like, you could turn back the clock a little.
Yeah.
Things to read, things to learn. The thought of your brain still working and creating memories, even though your corporeal body is gone, and the pain that may come with that. You know what I mean?
Sure. Absolutely.
As a thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at some point you do reach the point where it's like, maybe it's time I just rest. I don't know. I think it would be a fascinating.
It's not the final decision, by the way, either.
No. So
here's my thought. Number one, this is what bothered me a little bit, and it's not like a criticism of the writing or anything. It's just a philosophical thing. It's like Nathan was copied; he wasn't transferred. So his body, the Nathan in his body, was killed essentially during that transfer process. And so I feel that there are two Nathans in there. There's the digital Nathan and then the non-corporeal Nathan that's out there. And not to get too into it or anything, my answer is I don't think I would do and this is good pod, by the way. This is a good pod. I don't think I would do the upload because
let's not forget that this is also what some people posit happens if you actually get Star Trek transporter.
True. Well, that's my whole. I will never transport. I will never do the transporter because of that specific reason. But I don't think I would do the upload because there is good evidence. There is energy. There's an energy burst in the brain when a body is failing. And then there is a blast through the hippocampus. I believe it's the hippocampus. If I get it wrong, forgive me. I'm sorry. But there is a blast in the brain of electrical energy. And then there is mass that is lost in that blast.
Right.
And the idea is it goes back to the grand universe in that instance. And there are thoughts about it and whatnot. It can be refuted, it can be accepted, but I'm of the idea that there is a grand link, so to speak, in sci-fi terms in the universe, where when we leave our bodies, we join Link non-corporeally. And there's evidence of that. Yeah, and there's evidence of that in our brains and whatnot. And because of that perspective, I was tainted when I saw Nathan's brain be destroyed. I'm like, oh, okay, well, he's in the Great Link now at this point. But there's a digital copy of him here too, which creates a question about, which one might be the real Nathan, which the show probably doesn't go into. But who knows? It's a deep show. It's it's got a lot of promise.
Just keep watching.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
Just keep watching.
I think it's interesting that you and I, by the way, your answer's not wrong. And I'm not judging you for it.
It's my answer.
I like the answer. I like that you and I have opposing answers in this grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Because I honestly thought up until maybe a couple years ago, I honestly thought that I would do the upload. I really did. And then something happened. I don't know what it was. But I just feel like there's a link out there.
There's other thoughts that come with it. Maybe, it depends on how religious you are, your belief structure. Does it then become an issue if your family and friends don't want to upload? There's a lot of questions.
Well, that's another factor we didn't explore, right? So
no. But again, like you said, a lot of this world is shallow. So, and while it looks like for the most part, the writers do seem to think ahead and write well, the people in this world may not.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting way for us to kind of wrap it up. But what do you think so far?
I really enjoyed the show. I'm probably going to finish the first season at the very least. I'm really happy that you cajoled me into it.
Well, it's something that's both up our alley, but also a little bit different, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's comedy, which we like, but there's also drama, mystery to it. It's interesting. There's some entertaining characters in it. There's some compelling storylines, excuse me. And I just think it's fun.
Yeah. There's a lot of good lighthearted moments in it, and I appreciate it. So on that note, I think that's where we go. So,
I think it is too.
all right.
Hey,
Anything
man.
else? All right. Well, on that note, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. Until the next time, we are those sci-fi guys. I'm PS McKay. You guys keep dreaming. We'll keep working. So long. It's out there.
And I'm DT Calfman. And thank you for stopping by. We'll see you on the high ground.
Those Sci-Fi Guys is an independent broadcast by Alpha Sci Productions, produced by DT Capman and PS McKay, oceaned by music by Aiden under Creative Commons license. For more information on upcoming episodes, follow PS McKay on X at PS McKay or go to thosesci-fi-guys.com for past episode information. You can now find us on Spotify, so head on over there for our latest episodes, but don't worry, you can still find us on Apple. We're also live on Rumble, and you can find us on YouTube with video podcasts and Facebook, so be sure to leave a like and a comment and let us know how we're doing.